What's going on, everybody? We're back here. This is the Fireplace. We're live at the Cigar Code, 939 North Delaware Avenue. This is a Saturday evening rather than a Friday evening because my guest tonight couldn't make it on Friday, so we had to switch to Saturday. But he's so big, he's so popular, he's so important that we just made the adjustment. We got to pay some bills, so we're going to pay our bills first, then we're going to come back, we're going to introduce our guest, and we'll have a great conversation in the house. Y'all wait, give us a hand clap today for yourselves being here. We got a big crowd today. Y'all hear it. The big crowd today. Listen, we'll be right back right after this.
Are you planning a special trip or a night out? Don't bother with the hassle of driving, parking, and traffic. Just call Ed Smooth Transport. One-way or round trips available. We will take you there, and we will also pick you up. Enjoy a night on the town with Ed Smooth Transport. Call us 609-471-2653 or 609-314-6619. Visit our website to take advantage of our monthly specials at www.smooftransport.com. Ed Smooth Transport, where experience meets comfort.
In Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, there's a slightly slower pace of living. That's also where you'll find the home of Stoltz Fish Structures, where quality, integrity, and world-class customer service are more than just a way to do business. It's a way of life. From our humble beginning over 40 years ago in a small building, to the modern 65,000 square foot facility of today, we've remained at the forefront of our industry. Everything from gazebos and sheds to garages and pergolas, and everything in between.
All right, everybody, we're back in the house. I'm very excited about our guest tonight here at the Fireplace, where the conversations are fire. He's one of the current Eagles players right now, and he's making history. He keeps making history. He's making history with the Fireplace because he is the first current Eagles player to be here at the Fireplace. First round draft choice, 2010, 13th pick in the overall draft, out of Michigan. This is his 15th season in the NFL, all 15 seasons with the Eagles. That's unheard of. Yeah, he's played more games with the Eagles franchise than any other player in the history of the franchise. Super Bowl champion, 52. Two Super Bowl appearances, but they won 52, 2020 Pro Bowl, 2016 All Pro, 472 tackles, 74 sacks, 21 forced fumbles, 7 fumble recoveries, and 1 defensive touchdown. I would want to see that.
Man.
I want to see that. Yeah. Yo, welcome to the Fireplace, Brandon Graham, defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles in the house. Yeah. You got a lot of fans here today.
Hey, man, it's all love at the Fireplace.
It's all love at the Fireplace.
Uh-huh.
I want to say something. I started thinking about this the other day. I'm going to try not to cry right now because it's that important to me. Just so everybody knows, I've been reaching out to several current NFL players with the Eagles to try to get them on the show. Most of them not nearly as prominent as you. You know, some of the younger cats. I'm not going to mention any names, but they've just been giving me the cold shoulder and treating me like I'm nobody. I think I'm somebody, but I did do the same thing you guys are doing right now, and I did it for 17 years, and it's just been very difficult. But when I saw you at Brian Dawkins' golf tournament, and I asked you if you would be interested in being on the podcast, you said yes. You gave me your number, and you never wavered from your word.
Yep.
So, man, I mean, because you could be doing anything with anybody.
Yep.
Everybody wants Brandon Graham. You could do whatever you want. So I really do appreciate you being here at the Fireplace because this is not really anything special. Yes, I'm trying to do something for myself. I'm trying to build my media platform. But, man, I really do appreciate you being a man of your word and being consistent in our communication and just doing what you said you were going to do.
Oh, yeah, man. You know how it is. It's just you got to be a man of your word. And
Mhm.
I think some of the young guys, they learning. They not there yet.
Mhm.
To understand, like, when you say you're gonna do certain things, or just, pay respect to the people that came before us, because 17 years, man, ain't happened by accident. And then it's a lot of knowledge you can learn, just from our conversations. Even
Right.
me being at 15, so much you can still learn. But man, I appreciate you having me anyway.
I appreciate you too. Well,
Hmm.
actually, you're the age of my oldest son is older than you, so don't call me dad.
Nah, I got you.
Don't call me Mister either. And it's special. You're special, and even more special to me because your birthday is the same day as my wife.
Man, that's crazy. So that's how
That's
you
my
know.
wife in the back.
That's how you know we cool people. That's how you know we
So
cool people.
yeah, it must have been something
Yeah.
underlying there that kept us connected. But
Hmm.
listen, you couldn't make it yesterday. You
Yep.
were supposed to have the show on Fridays. That's what we normally do, but you were able to make it today. But you couldn't make it yesterday because you had appointments or you had some games to go to
Yeah,
with your
baby boy.
children.
Baby boy.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so how many kids do you have?
I have two.
You have two
Eight
children.
year old and
Talk to us about your kids, man.
I got an 8 year old Emerson Graham, and Bryson Graham. He's 5, and man, they busy. Gymnastics, football, lacrosse. I mean, there's so much going on. Loving just being a dad, man. Even through all the chaos of the season, I just try to be intentional most of
Mhm.
the time when I'm home. It ain't about nothing else but what they trying to do. Cause most of the time when I come home Wednesday or Thursday, them long days, I probably have like 2 or 3 hours. So I try to
Right.
make the best of it.
Yeah.
Usually just eating at the table, talking with them, seeing how their day go, and then getting that conversation.
That
Hmm.
kind of routine,
Hmm.
those good habits will produce good fruit later on, even in their lives when they're sitting with their kids at the table at dinner time and having conversations. Those are really good, important times. You don't get quality time instantaneously. Quality time happens in the midst of quality time, or
Hmm.
quantity, I should say. You got to spend a bunch of time together, and in the midst of the quantity, you get quality.
Yep.
So that's good that you do that. Besides that, though, what are you doing football wise or non-football wise, or to get yourself right during the bye week? I wasn't fond of the bye week.
Yeah.
It started in the latter part of my career,
Hmm.
but to me, it always, particularly if we were playing well
Yep.
or if I was playing well,
Right.
it threw me off.
Hmm.
I didn't want to have that week off. It didn't matter if I had an injury or some kind of bruise or whatever. I wanted to keep on playing. So for the most part, I did not enjoy and I didn't necessarily take advantage of the bye week because for me, emotionally and mentally and psychologically, it just kind of threw me off.
Yeah, because you had to turn it off a little bit,
Right.
just to come back and turn it back on. But I think for me, I just go 3 days out the week,
Hmm.
give me a regular weekend. It's just like off season workouts during the week,
Okay.
like I normally do, and then I'm back at it once I get back. Because usually when we go back on Monday, it's like a build up to that Wednesday when we got to practice, the long day to getting ready for the new team. But I think for me, it's just like you said, it throws me off. So I got to make sure I stay working out. Then on top of that, I ain't trying to get fat because I gain weight.
How can you get fat in a week?
Hey, let me tell you, for
Is
me,
it is it that difficult
for me, I
for the
gain weight.
lineman? Yeah.
For me, I gain weight quick. Some people can't gain weight, so it's like for my body. I know for me, I like to eat, and so I got to work out, and I got my little routine.
Right.
Got the stuff that I'm putting the right stuff in my body, but it's like I like to take wifey out on date night, go to our little spots and stuff like that. But the bye week is give me a real reason to do all that, because when you in the chaos, you can't
Right.
really find time unless you really make time like that. But
Mhm.
for the bye week, that's why it always kind of get me, because
Okay.
every day I'm trying to do something with the kids,
Right.
and just it's just one of those. You don't know sometimes that you stressing sometimes, because I eat a little bit,
Oh,
so
you eat when you're
yeah,
stressing.
yeah. So
Well,
I
you
try to talk
stressing a
about
whole
it.
lot right
I try
now.
to talk about it
Oh,
more.
after the
Trust me,
last game, I
trust
usually
me.
eating a whole.
So all week I just been talking to wife. He's like, hey, it is what it is. We gonna get right. You know what I'm saying? Just because she'll know when I'm kind of like in that mode of like
Right.
thinking. So I know myself. So that's why I say like it's cool that I stay working out, like what you just said.
When I'm stressing, my wife
Hmm.
can tell because I start cleaning the house.
Oh, okay.
I get the vacuum
Yeah.
cleaner. I start washing dishes, washing clothes. She goes, "What's wrong with you?" I mean,
Yeah.
not that I don't normally do that. I do that as well, but I just start doing it like the days that I don't normally do it.
Uh-huh.
Just out of the blue. She's like, "Okay, what's wrong?" You clean. What do you mean? What's wrong? When you clean and you vacuuming, you mopping, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Something's going on. Just relieving that stress. So,
Uh-huh.
so during this off season, there was talk, and potentially you were going to retire.
Yeah.
Potentially,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yep.
We saw, Jason Kelsey retire. We saw Fletcher Cox retire. Two big pieces of the Philadelphia Eagles team on last year. What were the factors that made the difference in your decision to continue to play?
Well, growing up being a Ray Lewis fan,
Okay.
wanting to get to 15,
Hmm.
I said if I can get to 15, man, that's been a dream of mine. So
Okay.
when it was in the sightings, of me, like, man, I can get there, and then my guys started retiring on me. I'm like, oh, come on, give me one more. But for me, I couldn't leave the team dry like that with all of us gone too. But
Is
15
that
was
is that the
always
real reason,
no, but
or did
15 was
money or anything else have something to do
no,
with it? No,
15 was
15 was the
always
number.
always the number.
Okay.
Hoping that my career would have been like even better starting, but I'm loving just how everything ended. Ending now, and
Hmm.
man, I think for me, just thankful to still be here, making the right decision to stay here in times of like where I ain't really like being here because it was tough being called a bus. You know what I'm saying? And people talking, and then it's like, dang. But I had guys in the room like, man, the best thing you could do is just worry about today.
That's right.
Worry about today. And so I just started saying, having these little affirmations. Hey, they gonna eat them words that they said, and so all that. And it just, man, I couldn't have asked. God couldn't have put it no better, no better. You know what I'm saying? On just like me forgiving everybody, even through like just on some of the stuff people were saying. I end up giving back to people during the time, and then fans, one of the guys wanted to fight me, what I'm saying, give me that money.
He
Give
lost
me
that.
that. Oh no,
He
I
lost.
know,
He
but I'm
lost
just
that
like
fight.
it was tough. It was
Right.
tough in
Right.
the beginning,
Right. Right.
but to get that Super Bowl, to make that play, man, and then to still be still here and playing at a high level.
Right. Right.
Thankful for
Right.
sure.
Well,
Hmm.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
about you. I can identify with that
Hmm.
because I ended up playing 17 years
Yeah.
because about I think it was my third or fourth year in the NFL. I was playing for the Patriots, and Chris Collinsworth started commentating.
Okay.
And Chris Collinsworth, when they come out of the league playing and they start doing commentary, they want to know if you can criticize the players that you
Hmm.
just finished playing with. If not, then you really can't do this job.
Yeah.
And he said that I was a first round bust, and he pissed me off.
Mm.
And I played the next 12 years
Yep.
mad at him. It was a good thing. It
Yeah.
worked out good, mad at him. But I can identify with you like that.
Hmm.
Things not necessarily going well in the early part of your career and then things falling into place. Let me talk to you about or ask you about a couple of challenges that you faced injury wise. Your,
Yeah.
your your rookie year, you come in and you're playing.
Hmm.
You get your first tackle in the second game of the season,
Yep.
and you're rolling. You're rolling. You're doing well. Then the 14th game of the season, you're playing against Dallas,
Hmm.
and you mess your ACL up,
Yep.
and now you're a rookie. So they put you on IR, and,
Yep.
and eventually you go on PUP, physically unable to perform. That's one injury that took place, and it's a serious injury that took place in your rookie year. And
Hmm.
then 2021, you come back from that in 2021, then you rupture your Achilles.
Yep.
Now you're later in your career. Some would consider you to be an older guy, so to
Hmm.
speak. Talk about the challenge that came with coming back or what you were thinking when you got hurt as a rookie,
Yep.
and then you can't overcame that, and then you come back, and now it's the latter part of your career, and you rupture your Achilles, which for most people, particularly a big man, is a death sentence.
Yeah.
It's a death sentence.
Yeah.
Talk about the challenges in those two different spaces.
Well, that was my first time, my first year, my rookie year. That was the first time I got hurt and had to go
Period.
under the period.
Wow.
And so it was just tough because so much stuff was happening. People was around and they wasn't around. Then it's like, oh, BG, then we don't know if he gonna come back because he had microfracture surgery. And microfracture, at the time they didn't think I was gonna have
Right.
a chance. And for me, I was like I told you, I was going through that little stress eating, getting bigger during that time. Then we had the lockout, so it didn't help at all. And so I didn't know I was stressed until I got out of it. And but I'm glad that I had people around me during that time that helped me, like my wife. You know what I'm saying? She always just would, even with her being in Chicago, come and check on me, make sure I'm good. We always talking. We had Skype at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it was tough in the beginning. But 2021, like that one, I was just like, man, I could spend some more time with my kids. Like
Okay.
I've been praying about this, like getting a little more time. And so during that time, I didn't want it to be like that,
Right.
but I'm like, if that's it, because at that time I was trying to build that relationship with God just even more, like consistently. And so I was like, if I'm gonna trust you, this is what it's gonna be. And so I looked at it. Just I'm gonna enjoy it with my kids and do all that, and then man, come back into a Super Bowl year. You know what I'm saying? Then I had my
And you
double
were
digit
and you were
sacks,
balling.
double
You
digit
were,
sacks that
yeah,
year.
yeah.
So it was tough because I was dealing with a bunch of people in house talking, that you hear, little birdies, little tell you like, hey
Right.
man, use it
Right.
as motivation. And so that's what I did. Same thing as what you saying. Just use it as motivation, and now I still got that chip on my shoulder. I'm
Yeah.
always like, how he trying to get rid of me? Yeah, I'm gonna show him. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Well, I asked that question because I never really had an injury to the point where I was put on IR or anything like
Yeah.
that. I never had a serious injury like that with my knee or with the
Hmm.
Achilles. So the mindset that it takes to recover from it and then the rehab that
Yeah.
takes place with that, particularly when you're a little bit older, you played 10, 11 years.
Hmm.
Was there any thought in your mind that this is not going to happen, that this may not be what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of years, that this may be the end?
Well, I just had re-signed, so I knew I had another year, like one more year.
Right.
The year I tore my Achilles, he
Right.
extended me one more year. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this with my kids, like I said. But then I wasn't really as worried as in the beginning when I was hearing like Earl Thomas, the guys that got drafted before me, and I'm trying to hurry up and come back
Mhm.
so I can show. But this time around, it was just more about I'm happy that I just signed that to have some security, but I'm gonna make sure I go about it the right way because of course I was like, dang, that first couple weeks. But
Right.
once I
Right.
got surgery and once
Right.
the time was ticking on it,
Right. Right.
it was like, all right, I'm gonna enjoy these two. I had a little bell. Wifey was tired of me, but it was cool. It
I
was
like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
A bell
A
in
little,
the bed.
little bell.
Honey, ding, ding,
She
ding,
gave
ding,
it to me
ding.
too.
Look,
She
my
gave
wife's
it to
leaving.
me.
You talking about the bell? She's leaving. She done walked out. She done walked out the room.
Yeah, yeah. So it was. I was in the basement. We had a whole little setup. She set me up nice, so I really ain't had to go to nothing but rehab and come
Right.
back. And I got her to thank because she definitely fed me, did what I was supposed to do. Like I told you, it was just the way I handled it.
Hmm.
I felt like that's why everything happened the way it happened.
Cool. Cool.
So
It's good to have people around you that care about you, that
yeah.
you can trust to take care of you in good times and in bad times. Let
Mhm.
something happen in your life, then you find out who your crew is.
Yep.
Who your crew is. And you don't need a bunch of people in your crew. You only need a few in your crew. Y'all looking at me crazy right now. Let me give this to you. A few people thoroughly immersed and committed are a far greater asset than thousands with lukewarm enthusiasm.
Yep.
Y'all think about that.
Mhm.
Marinate. Let it marinate. Um, 2013,
Yep.
they moved you from defensive end to linebacker. I know you played linebacker in college.
Hmm.
Was that? I mean, you have been playing DE, so
Yep.
now you moved to linebacker here with the Eagles.
Yep.
Um, why? And was that a big adjustment for you?
Well, I mean, Chip Kelly came in,
Yeah,
so I had to adjust. You know what I'm saying?
we
Chip
all had
Kelly,
to adjust
yeah,
when
we had
Chip
to
Kelly came
adjust. Everybody.
in.
So I mean, for me, it was football at the end of the day. Once
Right,
I got it down, once I learned it, once I was able to, because I played middle linebacker
right,
growing up, like you said, all the way to college, and then
right,
they moved me to the end. But it was just more about learning it the way they wanted it to look, and just going out there and making your plays if you get an opportunity. And
right.
so I had T Cole. Me and T Cole was in the same
Uh huh.
situation, so we both helped each other. We was feeding off each other. Connor Barwin was there. He just had got there. He already kind of knew, so we knew he had his spot locked up. So
Okay.
I was running behind T Cole because I knew he was good too. But we had like other guys that they drafted that
Mm-hmm.
came in,
Mm-hmm.
and luckily for me, it wasn't like a hit. Like you know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
certain years they wanted to replace me, but it's like if you don't get a hit right away. Sometimes people put them on IR for the year, and then I get the spot.
Right,
Stuff
right,
like that.
right,
So
right, right. Yeah.
it was like that with Chip Kelly. Like,
Okay.
well, a guy
Okay.
got hurt, and he ended up keeping me when he was about to get rid of me. And then, boy, I'm happy. how we got the control back because we ended up getting the Super Bowl after that.
Yeah, because in
Hmm
20, I don't know if this had anything to do with Chip Kelly. I don't think so. But in
hmm
2015, you
hmm
almost became a giant.
Yeah, yeah.
What was behind all that? What happened with that?
It was a prove it. It was
That
a
could have
prove
been
it.
ugly.
Yeah, that's why I say like I'm glad I didn't handle it emotionally because it was more like they was offering me a 4 year here and then they was wanting me on a prove it with the Giants, but I wanted to prove it because just all the fans just on you. Just I'm just tired. I was tired at that point, but wifey like nah, like let's just go. Let's think about it. Because you've been here already for this long,
Hmm.
and I don't want you to leave with a bad taste in your mouth about this, this city.
Right.
So I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So we thought about it and then we end up just going with the deal and we stay here. And boy, Chip Kelly was gone probably what, the next year. Yep.
Yeah, thank
Next
God.
year.
Wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, thank God he was gone.
Yep.
Good Lord have mercy. He
Yep.
messing stuff up.
He was gone.
Took us a few years to recover from Chip Kelly. You
Yep.
15 years now. This is your 15th year. I can identify. I played 17, so I can identify. You still make big plays. You're still doing it. I mean, obviously, you came up big in the Super Bowl. You had that. There was 2 minutes, 21 seconds left in the game, and you have that strip sack with Tom Brady. No better moment.
Mm-hmm.
And against one of the best to ever play the game. That was great. And then even with Tampa Bay, last in the second quarter, I believe it was, or the first half, you had the sack. You're still making big plays after being in the league almost a whole 15 years. How are you still doing that?
Well, I mean, we know who give us the strength
Well,
for
we know
sure.
that.
But
Yeah. I
for
want you to
me,
tell the people
it's
because
more
sometimes they
yeah,
don't believe.
yeah. Well, number one, stand in that word. That's number one. Then making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, massages, making sure that I'm just cold tub, just man, the luck of the draw sometimes on just because it's times where I rolled my ankle, but it wasn't that bad. It's like, whoo,
Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's times where. You just got to take care of your body for real and have a system every
Hmm.
week and try not to shy away from it because you get tired. You don't want to keep having to do certain stuff over and over. Pilates is another thing.
I
I
ain't do
did
any Pilates. Ain't
I
had no
did that
Pilates.
yesterday. Keeping this
How you
core
spell
tight.
Pilates?
Yeah.
Somebody know how to spell Pilates? What is a Pilates? Yeah,
Yeah.
we got some Pilates people over here in the house.
Hey, keeping that core strong.
Huh?
Staying stressed out.
Sit ups. Dude, keep the core strong.
Hey, that too.
Pilates. Pilates keeps the core strong?
Hey, yeah, you
Well,
need
yeah.
to you
Maybe I
need
need
to
to look into Pilates.
hey, I promise you, it's a
Yeah?
workout. It's a workout.
My gosh.
It's a good one though.
But you've been doing it for a long time, man, and God bless you. You're a definite future Eagles Hall of Famer, and probable. I don't know what people think, but in my mind, you're a Hall of Famer, a Pro Football
Man,
Hall of Famer, man. So I
that's
look I
crazy.
look forward to seeing you climb that ladder. When you do decide to hang up the cleats. Andy Reid, Chip Kelly, Pat Shermer, Doug Peterson, and Nick Sirianni.
Hmm
You've had an opportunity to play for all of them. We're just talking about his career right now. After the break, we're going to come back and talk about the Eagles. But right now, let's talk about Andy Reid, Chip Kelly, Pat Shermer, Doug Peterson, and Nick Sirianni. Who was the easiest to play for and who was the toughest to play for?
Well, I'm gonna go. When you say tough, is what you mean?
Who was a pain in your behind?
Okay, okay, all right, cool. Okay, cool. Because I mean, Coach Reed tough,
Oh,
but
I
but
know.
but I
He's
love
old
Coach Reed.
school.
I
Coach
know.
Reed old school.
Yeah,
But
but
we but
but
we
but
need that.
yeah,
Sometimes we need to get kicked in our behind.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But Chip Kelly would go with the toughest to play for.
Really, he
Because
was?
as far as yeah, it was just college, man. It was college. It
Okay.
wasn't no. It's like in the league, you know how it is. Like it's a mutual like respect with the
Right.
player and coach.
Right.
Some
Right.
people just gotta have the power, and
Mhm.
so that's him at college. That's it. They trying to get here. In the league, you got to be able to give and take.
Right.
But
Right.
people making money. You got to appease your big contract guys. He didn't really care for all that.
Really?
Yeah, he just
Wow.
was like
So he made it hard for you to play for him. He made it hard for you to
and it ain't
relate
have
to
to
him.
be. It really didn't.
No, it
Like he
doesn't
had
have
a
to
good
be.
little schedule. I mean, even in training camp, we was getting out like 5:30,
Mhm.
because he didn't believe in wasting your time. Like that was one thing I agree with. Like I like because of the type of team we had at the time. People wasn't having mental errors and stuff like that, but it was just more like he just. I don't know what it was as far as we just wasn't making as many plays as we needed to,
Right.
getting 200-yard rushes on us sometimes, and it wasn't as consistent. That's what
Right.
I say because
Right.
we was winning. We went 10-6 that first year, and that was a good year.
Mhm.
But it's just we just didn't make the plays in the end. That's
So
all.
so who was the coach? And you don't have to say Sirianni. We know we won't
Well, I'm gonna go with Nick because he the easiest because
oh
it's the
because you
first coach.
playing for him
No,
right
no,
now.
this the coach that I've actually got a relationship outside of the
Okay.
game. Because with Chip, I mean not with Chip, with Coach Reed. If I was here longer, I probably would have a relationship on the side where I'm going to his house and doing
Mhm.
little
Mhm.
stuff. But I didn't have. I had my early part, so he was like, "Nah, are you a rook?" You know how they
Right.
treat the rooks.
Right.
They don't really
Right.
talk to them
Uh-huh.
too much, other than if you making plays on Sunday. Yeah, you'll get a couple pats on the back
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I say Nick because I really seeing him change over the couple years as far as in a good way. Some of the bad stuff that he needed to work on, he's
Okay.
been working on it,
Right.
and I'm hyped for him because I feel like we got a really good team, man. It's just being consistent because we see what we can do when
Mhm.
we put it all together. This last game, I'm gonna just chalk it up to the bye week.
Don't talk about we're gonna
I
get to
got,
that. Y'all
but
better
yeah,
not have been looking
yeah.
for the bye
No,
week.
I'm just saying
So
I'm gonna just chalk it up because it is what it is now,
right,
and
right,
say that's
right,
what that was.
right,
And
right,
so, but we put that out there. So how we come back is everything.
right. So
Hmm.
so a lot has changed since you've been in the league. It's been 15 years now, man, and a
Yep.
lot has changed. You know, whether it's rules, whether it's the kind of players or athletes that you're that are your teammates now.
Hmm.
Talk about some of the likes and some of the dislikes in terms of how things have changed from the time you come in the league and the way things are right now.
Man, it was just more loose back in the day where it was just like, man, the locker room, but them boys, I mean, they go tell it like it is. And
Right.
then it was a fear that you had as a rookie coming in them locker rooms because I mean, some of them vets, boy, they was old school and they want stuff. Hey, Rook, had this, have my bags over here every day at this time. All this, like it was
uh,
just like, man, and make sure the refrigerator stocked up. Make
uh,
sure you got a couple songs because I might have you sing during lunchtime, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like, ooh, boy, that was high school and college.
yeah.
College for me was crazy too, but man, when I first came in, I mean, Broderick Bunkley, I had Mike Patterson. Mike was cool. Mike P was cool. Trent Cole was the guy that was like real cool.
Uh-huh.
That always like, man, nah, I got you on certain stuff, but it was like, yeah, them boys in my room, D line, O line too, O line, D line. You know them the hardest ones.
Right.
But that's what's different. That's what's different now. Like them boys that come in, they paid already, and so they ain't really
Right.
scared of nobody.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and I mean, I just hope you know what to do. At the end of the day, I'm adjusting to the times because that's what you got to do. But it's like as long as you can be accountable and you can make your plays. I mean, you can do what you want to do, but it ain't that fear no more.
Right.
It's a
Right.
respect. They respect me, but it ain't that. I guess because I don't command that either.
Okay.
I ain't gotta haze them. You know,
Hmm.
I don't. That was me. Like, but people can go overboard with it sometimes. But they still keep the refrigerator stocked. They still do certain stuff. Sometimes if I need my helmet, but I do that for the most part because I ain't believe in all that. I'm gonna handle my business. You
My
know what
when
I'm
I
saying?
came in the league, my guys, you know, the John Hannas and the Julius Adams. I don't know if you know who those cats are. The Steve Nelsons. These are old school, no teeth kind of guys.
Uh huh.
Uh, if you were messing up, you weren't doing what you're supposed to do, they would come to your house. They would knock on your door and they would ask your wife or girlfriend to leave and we'd have a serious conversation. Those guys would come
Oh
to your
man.
house. They didn't play because they had jobs during the off season.
Mhm.
Money wasn't like it is now.
Yep.
They had to work and play football during the football season and work jobs during
Hmm.
the off season. So it was a different mentality, a whole different. And those are the guys that I stay in contact
Yep.
most of all.
Yep.
Guys that I played with back during that time because it was a genuineness about the unity and we knew one another. We spent time, like you said, with each other off the field,
Hmm.
and we knew each other's wives and kids, and we were all just a big family. So
Yeah.
yeah, that I guess that's kind of changed in the NFL now a little
Well,
bit.
you know what? I've been doing that a lot. I'm like, if I'm gonna talk about it, I got to make sure I'm doing it. Like,
Right.
so I'm taking them out to lunch. I mean, the dinners every week, and then off the field. We got a whole group chat. They've been together. Even though for me being married, it's like, hey, y'all, certain stuff they go do, but certain stuff like for me, we'll go like top golf, do little stuff
Okay.
like that.
Hmm.
I mean, I go to people's houses. I try to I try to do that, especially because I know how important it is. Like what you said, because
Right.
this bigger than the game. It's
Yeah.
like some guys cool, but some guys it's only gonna be coworkers. We only
Right.
gonna be coworkers, and that's just
Right.
what it is. But some guys, if we actually try, I feel
Lifelong
like
relationship.
man, it's a real good
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So listen, y'all, we've been talking about Brandon's career and how important things are in his life and the things that he does, whether it's during the off season with his teammates and with his family. We're getting ready to go to break, and we're going to come back, and we're not going to talk about Brandon anymore. We're going to talk about the Eagles. So if you have any questions, please chart up your questions. We're going to get into some serious conversation here in a minute, right after this. All right, we're back. Listen, Stolfus Structures. Stolfus Structures is a 49-year-old family business. Stolfus Structures is a storage shed and garage company located in the heart of the Amish country. They ship structures nationwide. You can check them out on mysheds.com. They strive to be the undisputed choice of modular garages, sheds, and outdoor living products in the United States while furthering the kingdom of God. That's why I love them. Stolfus Structures is known for their fast delivery, great quality, and great client service. So if you're looking for a shed or garage or any kind of outdoor living product, Stolfus Structures is the way to go. Check them out on mysheds.com. And if you mention the Fryer Place, you get a 10% discount on any purchase. Stolfus Structures. That was a good read, wasn't it?
That was good.
Yeah, I did good. Come on, give me a hand clap. What's up?
Hey, that was good though.
Listen, that's called performing under pressure.
Hey, like
One of our sponsors, they want that thing to be right.
they wanted to be right.
Yeah, yeah. Peter Zook, are you happy? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Keep the checks coming in. So, word is, we're going to talk about the Eagles now. Word is, and tell me if I'm wrong, word is that wait a minute, we got to fix your mic.
Am I messed up?
No, you good. Bring it down a little bit.
Okay.
You're good right there now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure they hear.
Yeah, I had took it.
Okay. You took it off.
I had took it
Yeah,
off.
it's all right.
Messed it
But
up.
you're good now. You good? He's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Word is that you called a meeting after the Tampa game. Did you call a meeting?
No, it wasn't a meeting. It was just like a breakdown. Like, I just broke it down at the end. That's all I was telling them.
When you broke it down, what do you mean you broke it down?
So when I break it down, like after a loss, coach talked for a second. He talked about, what happened. Hey, if we do this, we ain't gonna win like this.
Right.
He say his speech. Then when we come up, we pray and together, and then we all bring it up, fist up, and that's what I mean when I said I broke it down because
Okay.
I gave him the last little say of what I felt what the game was, and
What'd you say?
I told him like, look, it is what it is. We put that out there. It's more about now, hey, coming off this bye and let's go on this run, man. Because I mean, I'm gonna just chalk it up to the bye week. And I hate to say that, but I'm gonna just say that because it is what it is. What we put out there, that's what it seemed like.
Mhm.
But how we come back and how we respond is everything. And now we got to go on this run. If we trying to go to the Super Bowl, that's what we trying to do. That's what we doing.
Right.
And
Right.
but you gotta put the work in, and we can't just talk about it. It got to show up out here,
Mhm.
because it looked good this week, but I don't know what happened. Like, what I'm saying? We're gonna look at the film and we're gonna find out. And then we found out what happened. It's like, look, we gotta tackle. We gotta be better. We can't be overrunning stuff. We gotta play a little tight. Like, you find out the little stuff that
Right.
you see that, oh man, this fixable. It
Right.
ain't like they beat us on some 50-50 balls and
Okay.
stuff like that. It was just more about, us as together as a unit. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm hyped because even with me and Jalen talking, it's just like, it's like, but on both sides of the ball, we trying to brainstorm he hype, because what the coach is talking about for when we come back. And so, man, it was just more like that, but it wasn't no team meeting. I don't know where they got that from.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. That's why you can't believe everything you hear. And that's why I asked the source. You keep, this is not one of my questions, but I keep hearing you talking about the relationship that you have with Jalen, that you and Jalen spend a lot of time talking. How did that develop, and what exactly is that turning into,
Well, I
and
just
how are you guys, kind of as iron sharpens iron? Is that kind of relationship you
Yeah,
have?
yeah. It's I just love how that just kind of evolved. You know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
over the years. It's like, it's a respect level as far as, me playing 15, him playing at a high level at quarterback. Then one to win. At the end of the day, it's like, what can I do to help you?
Okay.
And that's just kind of how it kind of started, and it just turned into a lot of good stuff.
Okay.
As far as like, we smoke cigars together. We do look like I'm learning the cigar game, through him, and it's
I
like,
need to
man.
get in that club.
Hey, hey,
Brandon, Jalen, and Irving. That sounds good, doesn't it?
mm,
Never
hey,
mind.
nah, for real
I'm
though.
just dreaming.
Yeah, nah, but for real though, it's just been cool, man. Just figuring out, his boundaries on stuff, on what he do,
Right.
on how he move, and it's cool, cause he really do try to be intentional on a lot of stuff, and he try to do his best. I mean, I could fight for somebody like that, somebody
Right.
that want to
Right.
see others win,
Hmm.
not just we trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? That's what we be talking about, more like trying to help, because it's a lot of people that talk about you all the time. It's like, but what you gonna do to try to help them?
Hmm.
And so that's the biggest thing, like trying to maximize like young guys to try to get them to take it
Right.
to the next level,
Right.
especially if they're gonna be called on. Trying to build that how you build that confidence,
Hmm.
inside, to
Hmm.
let them know that we believe in you, man.
Hmm.
We see it.
Hmm.
Now you just got to show up when the light shine up, when the
Hmm.
light shining like this.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But
So,
yeah.
what things are being done? Because for me, it was a little bit confusing
Mm-hmm.
in the Tampa Bay game
Yep.
because okay, you lost against Atlanta,
Yep.
then you come back and you shut a team down in New Orleans
Yeah.
away, a team that has scored the fourth most points in two games in the history of the NFL. It scored
Mhm.
91 points in two games,
Yeah.
and you come back and you literally shut them down. So to me, it was like okay, you were able to in just a week's time, you were able to correct all those mistakes that were made in that Atlanta game, come back, and now you impose your will against a good team and you win the game, and then you go down, you go down to Tampa Bay, and it's like fell apart in
It's
just
like we
a
only
week's
played
time.
one half.
Yeah, well, not even
Well, I'm
that,
just
in
saying,
my
like,
opinion.
well, right. I feel you on that. I'm saying like we ain't take advantage of some of the momentum shifts that could have
Right.
happened, like when the fumble happened. Like when I was looking at the game, it was certain stuff that happened where we could have captured the momentum, but
Right.
we didn't take advantage
Right.
of it. But that's
Right.
what I mean, like when
Right.
I
But
say,
even with your
yeah,
sack, that was
hmm
a point in time where you really needed something to happen,
yeah,
and it happened, but never really took advantage of it.
hmm
So, what are
hmm
some of the things that are happening or that you're doing right now during the bye week to correct those problems?
was talking to people, talking to them, seeing what's on their mind, because some of the guys that 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 didn't make well we all collectively didn't do it together, but
Uh-huh.
it's like certain stuff that happened in the game, we talked about it, and a lot of them owned it, and we moved on, and it's like moving forward right now it's just enjoy the buy. But when they come back, I hope y'all at least checking out the Browns, making sure y'all seeing what y'all about to go up against.
Hmm.
Just little stuff, cause I don't try to tell grown men what to do. It's just more about like, man, how can I help you? What can I serve you
Okay,
on?
that's
Stuff
good.
like that. Being a leader, cause man, I'm trying to tell myself, what I need to do. So I can't worry about all that. But what I can say, I'm gonna be accountable for you. If you looking at me like this what I gotta do. This my job. I'm gonna make sure I do it for you. So that's just kind of the mindset I want them to have.
Okay, there seemed to be in Tampa, and you guys are 2-2. I'm not concerned about it. It's early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
After the Atlanta loss, I was concerned that you'd end up after New Orleans and after Tampa Bay 1-3. So you're 2-2
Yep.
and going to the bye, which is you're good.
Yep.
You're good. It's still a long season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there was an issue, or at least the commentators were talking about it, and the press was talking about it, and it seemed, by way of what I could see, there were a lot of guys who were tired. There was an issue with conditioning down in Tampa. Was it the heat? Was it something that was done or was not done that attributed to guys having to come out? Because you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't come out the game.
Mm-hmm.
You the oldest dude on the field.
Yeah.
And you got these young cats. The only other one I think that played all the plays, I mean, you didn't play all the plays, but
Mm-hmm.
was Quinyon Mitchell.
Yep.
He played every defensive snap. But most of the guys were in and out. Slade was in and out, guys cramping up, guys leaving the game
Yep.
because they were dehydrated or cramping up. There was an issue with the heat down there. What was the cause of that? Was it something that was not done prior to, or was it something that could have been done to prevent that?
It was well, I say one guy I knew was sick before the game, and so the heat didn't make it no better for him. So I understand why he left.
Mm-hmm.
But the heat was, trust me, the heat was it was hot for
Mm-hmm.
real. But I mean, it affects everybody differently. That's how
Okay.
that's how I feel. Like I know everybody know their body. I don't feel like nobody was out of shape, but it
Right.
was just it was hot where that sun was beaming on us.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I mean, I'm just talking for myself, just because it's like I done been in Philly.
Right.
Philly humidity is crazy too, but
Right.
that Florida heat was different.
Yeah, I played down there.
But I just felt like everybody. It just was a bad day for some people. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I just chalk it up to that.
Okay.
Hmm.
So those of you who are trying to figure out, what was going on with the conditioning, and just let it go. All
Yeah,
right.
it's
It was just
it's
it
just
is what it
it's hot.
is. It's one bad day. Everybody has a bad day.
Hmm.
Right? Everybody has a bad day. So I'm gonna let that go. Um the heat never I have a hard time understanding that because the
Yeah.
heat never bothered me.
Hmm.
I always enjoyed the heat because it gave me an opportunity to get a tan.
Yeah.
So that's the way I looked at it. I'm tan my
I
head,
like
tan
playing
my
in the
arm.
sun
Yeah, I
anyway.
love playing in the sun.
Yeah.
Chance to get a little darker. What's the matter? Somebody said, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's my cousin over there. You see, he's about 4 shades darker than me." He said, "I don't have that problem."
Yeah.
So you got Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio is running the defense. He's the new defensive coordinator. He's got disciples around the league who
Hmm.
run, his type of defense.
Yep.
You had a couple here prior to Vic coming here.
Yep.
Decide last year runs somewhat of a Vic Fangio, knockoff, so to speak.
Hmm.
Then Jonathan Gannon 2 years ago when you all went to the Super Bowl,
Yep.
similar type of defense. He's a Vic Fangio disciple. What are some of the similarities in this defense, or is it just totally different with Vic now that you have the guy?
Well, we got the guy.
Yeah.
So, I know that everybody trusts him,
Mm-hmm.
just to but we just got to make sure that we just doing our job, make sure we getting people on the ground, playing tighter up, together. And I know we gonna do that. I'm just speaking off last game. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
you know that's just what we got to do moving forward, because that's how people gonna attack you. Once you put stuff on film, that's how they gonna hit you
Right.
until you stop it. And
Right.
so that's why I'm throwing it out there. This is what we need to work on right here. This is what we need to be better on, and that's something that's more playing tighter and playing up closer, that's what we gonna fix that. I ain't worried about that. It's just more about the missed tackles, making sure that we getting people on the ground, running to the ball together,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna just like I say, I chalked it up to the bye week. I'm moving forward. I'm on to them Browns now. Excited for that. But just can't wait to see how the guys come back Monday. Because that's the first day we go back and
Okay.
we'll be on the field.
Right. You mentioned a couple times the missed tackles. That's obviously been an issue.
Mm-hmm.
CJGJ leads the league in missed tackles.
Mm.
Yeah, did you know that?
Well, no, I didn't know.
He does.
I mean, I know it's a stat for everything,
Yeah,
boy. They be fine.
they got. I
They
saw that
find
stat
you,
the
don't
other
they?
day. That's not a stat you want to lead the league in, but right
Yeah,
now he leads the league in missed tackles. Is there something that you're practicing? I know you're talking about it,
yeah.
but is what is being done, like in practice to, why are guys missing tackles? Let me
Well,
ask you
I
that.
mean,
Why are
I
guys missing tackles?
I just say that we worked a lot. We worked the stuff, and eventually it's gonna hit. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I look at it.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's really all I can really say because I know we do it. We talk about it enough,
Mm-hmm.
and I just know that if we gonna believe in it, let's keep believing in it. Even when it didn't show up yet, it's gonna be good timing when it do. So,
Okay.
because CJ when he did make them stops,
Oh, when he
4 from
does
1,
make
what I'm saying?
contact, yeah, when he makes
Oh yeah,
contact, he
he
makes
in there.
contact. Yeah.
But I know he gonna get that right, and yeah, I just say that's the first. That's September. September. That's what that was. October ain't gonna be that.
Do you think it has anything to do with, you know, because the starters don't necessarily anymore,
Mm-hmm.
like when you first started playing,
Yeah.
the starters don't necessarily play that much in the preseason. Do you think the tackling has anything to do with that?
Well, you know what? We don't play. It is an adjustment when you first come
Yeah,
back.
yeah. You
That
can't
first.
just go out there and start
Oh,
tackling people.
you
You got to
know.
practice that
Yeah,
stuff.
you got
Full, yeah,
to.
you got to practice at full speed.
Yeah, and I know that we haven't, but they'll probably get back to it, especially since we played three. They'll probably start having people come out at least
Okay.
two games, because that's what we did. We did 3 games. The
Right.
third game we played more,
Right.
but you just play. They do the practices now. That's what they do.
Right.
That's where you get.
But that's still
But
controlled
that's
though.
still, yeah,
It's
because you're
not.
not
It's
going
not
to the ground. You're not
exactly.
going to the
It's still
ground.
controlled. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I think it'll get there where teams will start playing their starters.
Uh huh.
First quarter, and then first and second, and then call it like.
Because it's starting, because the start of the season is taking so long for teams to get into a rhythm,
Yeah,
and the errors are coming because they're just not out playing in the
yeah,
preseason.
and you really see like just like you can't cheat the game. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
And just
No,
like
you can't
you
fake
can't
football.
you can't just show up after training camp. I mean, not having training camp
Right.
because yeah, it's gonna be tough for you. You might be a beast, but training camp you need it. You
You
know what I'm
got,
saying?
you got.
You need to grind them feet up
That's right.
for
Right.
real.
Get that body callus. Get used to that hitting.
Uh huh.
How much does this team, if at all, I know they probably do. How much does this team, the Eagles, miss Jason Kelsey and Fletcher Cox?
Well, you know what? You got to move on at some point, but
I know
we
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 say
miss
that.
we miss. I know,
Yeah,
but it's like
and you do.
we know they
Yeah.
watching.
Right.
So now it's like to
Right.
impress them, try to impress them and show that they in good hands. Like they left the game in good hands. And I
Right.
mean Cam is good, and then Jalen Carter gonna be real good. It's just technique, with certain
Okay.
stuff, that you when you see good players, it's all technique. You know how it is. It's like it's just how can I keep that step with you where like from not being here and you catching the ball to right here and I'm
Right.
blocking it.
Right.
Like
Right.
and
Right.
sometimes it's just not having a false step, not having like using your hands to get off a block instead of using your shoulders
Hmm.
or a little, Jalen has gotten better with his technique, and that's what I tell him all the time. Like, man, your technique is what's gonna get you
Nice.
like even more. Like, use them hands, be that bully with them hands, and get off them blocks. And it's the same with Jordan. Same thing. It's like, you a big man. Go out there and play big ball. You know what I'm saying? And so it's all the confidence that I'm trying to build with them.
Hmm.
And I know Jalen for sure.
He's a beast.
He a beast.
Yeah.
And if
We need both of them to show up.
both of them. No, I
Yeah.
say both. I can see Jordan too, but I can't wait until it show up for him because I've been there before, like where people talking, and I
Right.
know
Right.
he want to get that off because
Yeah.
I see him work every day. But you got to make sure you stay believing. Like I
Hmm.
told you, it's like soon. I feel like it's right there. It's right there.
Okay.
All you got to do is stay believing,
Okay.
and it's just keep putting the work in.
How good
Mhm.
is Quinyon Mitchell?
Oh, that boy good.
He said,
Nah,
oh,
he nice.
that boy good.
Yeah, he real good. Nah, that boy good. Out his breaks.
You sound like that cat. What that movie? Eddie
I
Murphy.
know.
That that boy
That
good.
boy life.
Oh, that boy good.
Or
Yeah. What movie was
I
that?
know. I'm trying to think.
You
Coming
sound.
to yes, it is.
What was it?
Coming to America.
Yeah, coming
Coming
up.
to
Oh,
America.
that boy good. You
Yeah,
said it just
yeah.
like it. Oh, that boy good.
Man, that's my. Oh, that is funny, boy. Nah, but yeah, that boy get out his breaks nice.
Yeah,
You
no,
know.
he
Mhm.
should. He's dropped 3 interceptions.
I know.
He
I
should have
know.
3
He should have
ints
three.
right now.
He should have
Yeah,
three.
yeah, he's the truth. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Here's the last question. We out of here. It's been great, man. I
Oh man,
appreciate you,
nah, it's
brother. I
cool,
really
man.
do appreciate you. Does this Eagles team believe they're good enough to get back to the Super Bowl?
Yes, that's
I
for
didn't
sure.
ask y'all.
Hey,
Somebody out
hey.
there say yes. No,
You,
you
you,
believe
you
it.
know what?
They
I
need to
sound like the
believe it.
Cowboy fan saying yeah.
No, that was came,
I,
came from it came from over there.
just want to mess. I just want to
Okay,
mess.
yeah,
I just want to mess.
it came from over there somewhere. But
What up, man?
but
What up?
but do you guys talk about that, or I mean, I know you don't necessarily focus on that because you
Yeah,
got to take it game by game, one
yeah,
day at a time, one play at a time, one series at a time. Um, but is that something that you guys have set as a goal, and does this team believe that they can get to? Because I
yeah,
do. I
yeah,
do. I'm
yeah.
betting on y'all getting there. I need y'all to get there so
Trust
I
me.
keep my podcast going.
Yeah, I
So
got you. Nah, I got you.
but does this team believe they can get
No,
there?
we believe for sure. We talk about it. It's not all the time, but you just gotta have something that you're looking forward to. It's
Mhm.
like what you building towards. Every little thing that we do. It's like, is it reflecting on what the goal
What the
is?
goal
You know what I'm
is? Right,
saying? It's
right.
like, all right, we lost two, we won two. We should be 3-1. We lost that last game for sure, but we 2-2. So everything we still want is right in front of us,
Sure is.
and so
Yeah.
that was another thing that came up. But that was coach talk. Coach had said that in the meeting before we left on that Monday, for the bye week, and so yeah, it's just like that's exactly what we need to do. We need to focus on, all right, this is what it is, but everything we want is still here, and we got 3 more months
Mhm.
to show that's what we're doing. But it's gonna take day after day after day, and we got to handle those days, them games when they come up.
Mhm. So tell the
Hmm.
people before we go what to expect against Cleveland next week.
Well, it's gonna be crazy. 1 o'clock game. Excited. And I don't. I can't say.
We can't give us a game
I can't
plan,
get.
but you
I'm just saying, like, the whole thing is to win. I know that we had a bye week and we gonna come back focused, and that's what I can tell you. We gonna go out and put out a better product than what we did the first time.
all right, you heard it right here at the fireplace with the conversation of fire from none other than Brandon Graham. Come on, put your hands together. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm I'm going to deem him Eagles Hall of Famer. He's not even retired yet. He's already an Eagles Hall of Famer. Played more games as an Eagle than any other player in the history of the organization. God bless you, man.
Man,
Appreciate you,
I
Doc.
appreciate you.
15 years in the
I
league.
appreciate you.
Great interview. Listen,
Yeah.
we'll be back next week, not here, but next Friday in the studio, the fireplace, from 6 to 7 p.m. We're there every week. The first Friday of next month, we'll be back here at the Cigar Code. Can't tell you who the guest is going to be because I'm still trying to get some of the current players and they ignored me. So maybe you can help the brother out.
Okay.
But y'all, listen, before we go, make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of other people. Why?
What you sow.
I'm not sure I'm happy with that. Let's do that again.
Nah. Hey,
We're
that was
live.
good.
I think we
Everybody
do way
remember.
better than that. Uh, take care of yourself. Take care of other people. Why?
Because you reap what you sow.
You heard it right here at the fireplace where the conversations are fire. We'll see you next time. Peace. Go Birds.